Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber and today is the day, so I hope you have your game face on. That's right, y'all. It is officially the new Weight Watchers program. It seems like the name for the new program is just Weight Watchers. How original. But that's what we have. All the information that we had stated previously before this was correct, other than the date. Obviously, it didn't happen on November 11th like I initially thought. But after that video, you saw that we all talked about it in the comments, and it seemed like the 14th was the day it was going to happen. And alas, it happened. But everything else was true. You can no longer gain points by eating vegetables or drinking water. You can only earn points by your activity points, which, you know, I'm fine with. We have now an extensive list of 0-point foods that we all share. So we're all on the exact same program, which hasn't happened since freestyle, which this is very similar to. Now, getting the new program was not as streamlined as I was hoping. It was supposed to be you just kind of open your app and that morning you'd be greeted with a little pop-up and off you go to the races. It didn't quite happen like that. Let's go over and see all the screen recordings I had to take to get this done. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about the app, make sure you stay tuned because I'm also going to be showing you finally getting to the new program, all the information about the new program, how you can find your 0-point foods list whenever the new program pop-up goes away, as well as using that weekly planner. Did you even know you had that option? If you've been here for a while, I've shared it in the past. People were really amazed that was an option because WW doesn't really talk about it. There's no tutorial in the app or anything to let you know how to use the little program. So I'm going to show you how to do that because if you want to be able to schedule out your meals throughout the week, have a gauge of how many points you're going to be using for each day, it's a really, really helpful tool. It also helps you not lose your recipes because they're all already loaded into your weekly planner. We're also going to be logging in some activity by hand because my Fitbit's charging, and so I didn't wear it to the gym today. So you're gonna learn how to do that as well. There might be a few more random things. I'm not sure. The day is young. Let's get into this screen recording of me trying to start this dang program. I woke up with so much hope that my app would just magically be updated and it would be streamlined, but it wasn't. I went in and it kept refreshing. It would not load. So I went into my app program on my phone and searched up WW. Sometimes when you do this, next to the WW app, it'll say update. Mine didn't, it just said open. So that wasn't gonna be an option for me. So I got a little nervous thinking maybe today's not the day it's happening. Went into connect and someone said they had to log out and then re-log in. That still didn't work for me right away. I ended up having to stop and go take my daughter to school. Once I got back, I saw this. When I opened my app, we've simplified the program to make it easier for you to succeed. Let's hope all that is true. It's saying that you have to check less, basically means you have 0-point foods that you choose if you check them or not. And then you still get weekly points. Mine have not changed. They are still 28 points a week. Extra, that does not include my activity points. These are 0-point foods list. This is kind of hard to read, so I'm going to put mine own in here. You can screenshot this for later use. Non-starchy vegetables, fruit, poultry, tofu, fish, non-fat Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, popcorn, eggs, beans, peas and corn, and lentils. Can't forget the lentils. You have until December 11th to make the switch from personal points to this new program. If you are starting now, they're going to put you on the new program. But if you're already on personal points, you get a few weeks to make the switch. I prefer to go ahead and do it, rip that Band-Aid off and get it over with. Because my points didn't update, I thought maybe I could go into the food settings and see if that would help. But alas, it just gave me the option to change my personal points again, which was not helpful at all. So I got back out of it and put my patient pants on and let it load up. Finally, it says your program is updated. If you click on that banner, it says all of your 0-point foods here. I now get 23 points a day. I had 25, but only 4 0-point foods. Now I get 23 with a big old list of 0-point foods. I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's actually going to be quite a bit easier. There's something easier about someone telling you these are your 0-point foods versus me deciding to give up points to have it. It was just a little bit harder to do that. So I think it will be simpler and more streamlined. I hope that y'all feel the same way. If you want this little banner to go away, click on the X and then yes. If you want to keep it, hit cancel. This is just going to pop up your 0-point foods easily. But if you want to get to them from a different area, come up here into that left area, click it, and then hit 0-point foods. This is always there, so you always have access to your 0 point foods at any time. Now, some people are saying they got a whole bunch of extra points when they first updated their app because it switched them over to maintenance. So we're gonna go make sure that in our food settings, we are still in weight loss mode, not maintenance mode. So click on it, make sure that weight loss is still checked. That way you're in weight loss and not maintenance. Now, maybe you've been hearing about people getting a blue dot and you're like, where the heck do I know if I get a blue dot? Go down to this target at the bottom of your page and then scroll down so you see the calendar, and it shows you your my healthy eating zone is 15 points to 33 points a day. I almost never got this on personal points because they didn't give you extra points for getting vegetables. So even though I'd only eat, maybe 5 weeklies, I'd still lose my blue point, which kind of sucked. Here are different challenges that you can join on this same page. I'm gonna go ahead and do the 7-day strong just to help encourage me to make sure I'm tracking every day. Sometimes I do these, most of the time I don't because I just forget they're there. If you are wanting even more information about the new program, we're gonna go back up to that top menu bar, the little hamburger icon there. Click it and scroll down until you see WW Program Guide right there. And we're gonna click on that, and that gives us even more information about our own program. It'll give you your weeklies and your dailies. You can see I've already used one because coffee. Coffee's very important to me. I've already used some creamer. It'll tell you about your activity points, things like that, just random information. I think it's good to read through at least once, particularly if you are new. This is another place to find your 0 point foods. Let's browse through some of these recipes just in case you want to know how to get there and how we can add things to our weekly planner. Go to that top left menu and recipes. Here you can add different things that you have in your fridge and it will pop out a recipe that has some of those ingredients, or you can browse through these random lists. This one's a ballpark one. They have fall list, winter list, random lists that you can just look through and see what sounds good. I honestly haven't tried a ton of recipes from the app. I think it's because I just don't really think about it much. So this is gonna be good awareness to me. I had this quick and easy meals for one, and I thought, hey, that sounds good because I'm here by myself for lunch a lot. I love the fact that now we all have the same 0 point food. So when it says 2 points or 4 points, we all know that's the same for all of us. It makes it a lot easier to share recipes. Now I came across this refried beans and poached eggs, and I had no idea what I was making for breakfast. And I thought, I have both of those things on hand. Let me go ahead and add this. Add to plan, and then view plan. This is gonna pull up, it's gonna put it on whatever day your day is today. So because it's Monday, it automatically puts it on Monday. You can use those 3 bars to hold it down and drag it to whatever day you want it under. I'm gonna put it back on Monday because I am gonna eat it today. And then save plan because you don't want it to get lost into the abyss. And then I'm gonna look around a little bit more to see if there's any more ideas I can take from this app. And I found these blue cheese chicken burgers, and I was thinking buffalo chicken sounded good. So this is a great way of me having that. I'm gonna do the same thing, add to plan, drag it to Tuesday when I wanna eat it, save plan, and move on with my day. If you wanna see my entire week's worth of planned foods, come back on Wednesday. I'll be sharing them there with all of the links for the recipes. Now we're gonna add one of our own recipes to the weekly planner. So you're gonna go to your foods and then click recipes. I know that I called this French onion chicken, so I'm gonna add that and then go down. It's the same, add to plan, move it to whatever day you want it on, and then save plan. Now to find this weekly plan, you're gonna go back up to that top hamburger menu and then click on weekly plan, and there it is. Again, it's Monday, so it's automatically gonna go to Monday, and I can scroll down and see what I have for the day. You can toggle through all the days of the week using those buttons up there. So this is Tuesday, then I click on the W, that'll take me to Wednesday. And you can see every day at a glance. It'll also tell you how many points you have left with whatever dinner you have already planned or lunch you already have planned. You can edit this and take food off. At the end of the week, you'll have to edit it and remove everything to start a new plan, or you can hit that start new plan button. And now you can hit view more and it will show you a recipe or ingredient list for all the recipes you have saved. I haven't actually tried to use this because I don't know if it's super accurate or what, but go for it if you want to give it a try. And now let's start this what I eat in a day. I started my day with 2 cups of coffee. I used 6 tablespoons of this 0 sugar Italian sweet cream creamer. It's my favorite. 6 tablespoons is only 2 points. And then I went ahead and made that refried bean and poached egg breakfast that I showed you on the recipes. It was interesting, y'all. I added 1/4 of a cup of water to these beans and microwaved them. It was good. It's just interesting to have beans. Oh, and then, you know, find your coffee that you forgot was in the microwave. That's always a key role of my breakfast. I microwaved these for about 2 minutes. I did it for 1 minute, stirred it, and then microwaved it again for another 2 minutes. Then I had to poach some eggs. And let me tell you, if I can poach an egg, you can poach an egg, because I did not know what I was doing. I've seen people swirl the simmering water while they drop in their eggs, so I thought I'd give it a go and look like a professional, but I don't know what I'm doing here. It turned out fine. I did them from 3 to 5 minutes with this simmering water, and the water got real gross, but the eggs were cooked perfectly. So I don't know if that's normal or not. This is my first time poaching an egg. To those beans, I had added some cumin and garlic and onion powder, a little bit of salt, so that gave it a little more flavor. I topped it with my poached egg and a little bit of salsa and ate it like this. It really was tasty. It just is weird eating black beans for breakfast, I gotta tell you. So I might try it again. Then I went off to the gym. Just got finished working out with my boo here, and I did shoulders, triceps, and chest. And now I didn't have my tracker on, so I'm just going to do it in the app. So I'm going to show you, just in case you don't have a tracker but you want to track your workouts. I'm going to show you a tutorial here in just a minute. And we stopped by GNC because we've been out of BCAAs for a while, and I have noticed a difference. And when you're more sore, you have less motivation to keep going. So we're going to go home and drink these BCAAs. I've been out of town. Sorry if you can hear, it's raining. I've been out of town for the weekend, and we didn't get back till late last night. So I don't know what we're having for lunch. We're basically gonna go do like a Hunger Games scenario inside the kitchen to see what we have.
We're gonna kill each other. We're gonna put children all over.
Why do you think I need this recovery? We're gonna see what we have. We got so many 0 point options now. My beloved potato is not one of them. I'll show you this when it's made up and whatever we decide to have for lunch. To track our activity, we're going to go to the home page and scroll down and hit track on activity. Then type in whatever your activity was. I hit walk. I didn't see something I wanted on the very first, so I hit see more, and then I picked this feel good walk. I don't know why it was all so weird on the walking. I walked for 20 minutes and then hit track. I also lifted weights, so I went and typed in weightlifting. This one was easier to find right there. And then I did that for 45 minutes and then tracked my activity. Now you can go back to your home screen. I want you to pay attention to where my weeklies are. They were 28. Then as I refresh, they jump up to 33. You can also make sure it tracked by going back down to your activities and seeing where it says +5 weeklies for my activity. Here we are. This is 0 points, and I'm gonna go enjoy it. Okay, disaster averted. No one had to die in order for us to eat today. We did have the 3-bean turkey chili left over that I had made in one of my last videos. I will link it down below, the recipe. Just keep in mind, we ended up adding a ton more seasoning because it was pretty bland the way it came out. I added corn to the recipe because, you know, it's a 0 point food. Why not bulk up your meal? This chili, as it is 0 points. So that means we've only used 2 points for the entire day so far. So we're gonna add a little stuff on top. I've got this cheese here that I'm adding 0.7 ounces because it's 2 points for that, plus 2 points worth of my tortilla chips. I'm going to sprinkle my cheese on my chili and then pop it right back in the microwave, and then top it with my tortilla chips and have an epic 4-point lunch. The fact that this is 4 points is amazing. Now for a snack, I had a Built Bar, which is 4 points. I love Built Bar. I think they are the best protein bars for the points out there. Now we had a shrimp boil for dinner. I just had shrimp, corn, potatoes, and green beans. My husband also had sausage. I do have it written down in the description box how we made this. if you're interested. It was really, really good, but also very spicy, so keep that in mind. This was only 3 points because I only had to count my potatoes, which was amazing. And since I have points to spare today, we're going to make some apple turnovers, but we're going to make an easier modified version. I have a link below Weight Watchers version where you actually cut up apple. Their version is 3 points. My version is 4 points because, again, it's the lazy version. I'm using 1 cup of self-rising flour with 1 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. This is going to make 4 servings. If you're making just 1 serving, it's going to be a 4th cup of each. You're just going to have to be okay with getting your hands dirty, knead it all together. Once I couldn't get it anymore in the bowl, I turned it out onto my cutting board that I'm going to be using anyway to roll it out. So who cares if it gets messy? You're just kneading this until all of that flour incorporates into your Greek yogurt. This is fun. You know, let the kids help. My daughter ended up helping roll out some of the turnovers and had a really fun time making these. Now we're going to let that dough rest for about 10 minutes covered with a clean towel. I'm going to show you my can here. This is my cheat. I bought the light apple pie filling instead of slicing apples, tossing it in cinnamon and all that nonsense. Here we're going to get this bowl. We want this ball to be 4 equal parts. I started to roll it out. I really wanted to roll out one big square, but it didn't really, my little rolling pin there wasn't quite big enough. So I got it flat and semi-even, and then I cut it. If you can find a pizza roller that is like a pizza cutter, that's the best way to cut it. But my junk drawer has gotten insane and I could not find it. So the little knife it is. Use that tiny little roller to roll out, trying to get a good even square, adding a little bit of that self-rising flour whenever it's stuck. You don't need to be too perfect. Life's hard enough. I mean, we don't need perfect dough too. Now we're going to add that apple pie filling to the middle. I used my spoon to kind of cut the apples on the side of the can. That way they weren't these giant chunks. And now we need an egg wash. On Weight Watchers app, they just have you whisk an egg and use it. I always like to add a tablespoon of water to mine. I think it just is a nicer consistency to smear along. And then we're going to add these to the edges so that we can flip it over and it will actually adhere to each other. Now we're going to use a fork. Now, if it gets sticky, you need to dip it in the flour just to help it not mutilate your beautiful turnover you just made. Now we're going to cut some venting holes with a little knife and then brush this egg wash all over the top. You don't need a big thick layer, just enough that this turns delicious and golden. Now, if I were really smart, I would have added a tiny bit of salt and cinnamon inside the turnover, but I couldn't be bothered at the time. I just forgot. Now we're going to add these to our air fryer. We're going to cook these on 380 for 8 minutes. Don't touch them. Just cook them for 8 minutes. They turn out absolutely delicious. Since you can only roll over 4 points, I decided to add a little bit of this caramel Splenda sundae sauce, whatever it's called. I was aiming for 29 grams because that's 2 points. But once I was actually putting it on there, like, that's a lot of caramel sauce. I do not need that much. So I ended up going with 13, and that was only 1 point. So we'll have a point that we don't use and can't roll over, and that's okay. Once this sat on the turnover for just a minute, it was really easy to smear out because it warmed up. And since I forgot to add the salt and cinnamon on the inside, I went ahead and added it right on top of that caramel sauce. This was delicious. I had a great day of food today. So for my first day on the brand new plan, I only used 18 daily points and I was full all day. I felt like I got a good amount of food all day long, which means I'll have 4 points that roll over tomorrow. You see, I used 2 points for breakfast, 4 points for lunch. I used snacks. I had 2 different 4-point snacks and then 3-point dinner. So for the first day, I am super happy with the new program. I will see y'all back on Wednesday.